$200 billion in direct aid being handed out. States nationwide have been figuring out how to spend nearly $200 billion of direct aid provided in President Joe Biden's American Rescue Plan. Unprecedented handout intended to ensure that the U.S. economic recovery wouldn't be derailed by the type of fiscal crisis that followed the last recession. Maybe. The data we have, California, $1.8 billion of the state's $27 billion allocation is helping seed $500 college savings accounts for millions of low-income students. Fostering youth and homeless students will get an extra $500. So $500 to low-income students in a college savings account and $1,000 to foster youth or homeless students. Tennessee is using $500 million to expand broadband. Ohio is using $250 million to provide grants for water and sewage projects. New Jersey is bailing out cash-strapped renters whose debts piled up during national eviction moratorium. And Louisiana is adding to a fund it uses to rebuild from storms like Hurricane Ida, which just passed through. Now, there's $200 billion of aid that has been given to them by the American Rescue Plan, and they don't know what to do with it.
They're all doing something a little different.
What is going on? Where the government is giving the government cash, and there's no plan. Like, again, this is a Walmart economics right here, right? If I say to you, I'm going to give you $27 billion, California, you get $27 billion. Your politics suck, your tax regime sucks, you treat people horribly, but I'm going to give you $27 billion. And you don't know what to do with it. Why do you get the $27 billion? And then what is the difference between California using it for college, but then Ohio's using $250 million for water and sewer projects? Is this part of infrastructure or not? And then New Jersey's bailing out cash-strapped renters. And Louisiana is adding it to a storm rebuilding fund. All of these seem like good causes, but it feels like if the government was just going to say, hey, here's $200 billion, we're just going to give it to the government, right? That's what happens. The national government gives the state government. There should be a much stronger plan. What is the purpose of this? If the purpose is just to inject a bunch of liquidity into the market, okay, that's fine. Just seems weird. So, on top of that, Best Business Show research team we got a bunch of data. Tax revenue changes. State finances quickly snapped back from the pandemic's hit. April of 2020 was bad. Some state finances in the United States was down 50% because of the tax revenue. But they're already positive again in March 2021. So about a year later, they came back. Do you remember last year in 2020 when the New York City subway, the MTA, was going to go bankrupt? Remember this?
Yeah.
And they had the bonds that they had to pay. And they were worried that they weren't going to be able to pay their bondholders because not enough people were riding the subway because there was a 90% drop in subway traffic. They were acting like they had their shit together. And then we just saw videos of literally the subway flooding. The next chart, I don't even know how to read this. Again, Walmart economics going on over here. So, yeah. There's still states that are in trouble, but like Oregon. Look at Oregon. Hey, you want to know who lives in Oregon? Colton Sakamoto lives in Oregon. Oregon's screwed, Colton. You should move. Look at Oregon. Oregon's losing so much cash. They got no tax revenue. Let's go. But you want to know who's worse than Oregon? Look at South Carolina. South Carolina is just taking it on the chin, like literally just getting punched in the face. This is tax revenue that's down. Not good. Not good.
Alaska is still not coming back.
Yo, Alaska. I didn't even see that one. Alaska and Florida, they just stay losing. Florida don't lose. It's always summer here. But Alaska is getting worse.
Wait, no.
It's from left to right tax revenue.
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah, John, tell me again how to read.
NC, stand up.
We're going to have a whole segment on how NC doesn't get the respect they deserve.
Yeah, true. For y'all that don't know, we grew up in NC. It's
we're biased.
Underrated.
Underrated.
That's
good
fine.
spot.
But out of all these charts, like Hawaii looks bad because it's just staying flat and losing. But Alaska's getting worse. Alaska's racing to lose more. Like, damn, Alaska.
We see Idaho 15%. We raise you negative 30.
Idaho and South Dakota, their pandemic ended months ago.
Yo,
Look at that.
South Dakota is just like, we don't lose.
Yeah,
like,
like,
South Dakota,
shit.
we ain't participating.
We don't ever
in
win
this.
by that much, but we don't ever lose either.
Yeah, exactly. All right, last one. Let's go to the very last chart, the multicolored one that John found that looks like somebody took a highlighter to it. 4 different states, how they're spending their relief cash here. So we have California, Florida, New Jersey, and Ohio. If you want to know what the difference is between Florida and California, here it is. Florida, $4 billion they're putting into infrastructure. Just on a percentage basis, way more. That's because Florida knows what they're doing. They're saying, listen, this is an infrastructure bill. We're supposed to be spending on infrastructure. We're going to do what we're supposed to do. But, California is spending on social things. By the way, did you see that San Francisco was going to spend like $60 million to put like 40 circles in a parking lot and put tents there for homeless people? Did you see this?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like $60 million. Hold on.
Didn't they say that it would be cheaper to like buy? Oh, maybe not in San Francisco, I guess. But it was one city where it was like it would be cheaper to buy houses or like create like townhomes or something like that and put kind of like multifamily style.
Let me see if I can find this real quick. I swear this is like the craziest thing I've ever seen. Here's a photo of it so that we can literally. This is what they're doing. So Matt, let me send this to you real quick. This is real-time research right here coming from the Best Business Show. You're not going to get this anywhere else other than here. This is the picture of these folks that they have drawn on these circles. And then I think this is it's a sanctioned camping site, right? We actually have 2 photos. And my understanding is that the cost of this that you guys are Googling right now for me while I get the photos is astronomical. It's stupid. It's crazy. When you look at these photos, this is what is going on. So here's the first one. Is they basically drew, these are squares that they upgraded from circles to squares. Now we got squares.
A lot.
Yeah, we got squares now. And they basically, that's your area.
$61,000 a year for each tent. What?
Stop. Bro, I listen, I don't bring facts to the conversation that aren't true.
What? You could get an apartment for less than that.
Look at this, bro. Look. They created
Less than that, dude.
They
You can get an
created
apartment for a fifth of that.
They
Dude.
created a
Bro.
San Francisco sanctioned campsite.
That one guy, he's in a straight up gated community. That one guy. He's like, I like the gated. I like the gates.
Here's the crazy part is I believe, and again, I don't know this to be true, but I believe that the materials here, like the tent and all of that, is being provided by the city of San Francisco. But as Joe just said, I think it's $60,000 per square, right? Per area. And I want to be clear. This is good intentions in that they are trying to help people who need help. I don't think anyone looks at this and says, this is bad. We shouldn't help these people. I don't think anyone says we should completely abandon the most vulnerable in our society. I think it's actually the exact opposite. And part of the conversation that like on Twitter and stuff, there's no nuance that gets included is we have to be able to help people and have the good intentions and also be smart about the economic decisions that our governments make. So good intentions, good ultimate desired outcome, very questionable capital allocation decision.
Yeah, so I think it's important. I was just reading about it too. To be clear, we're not trying to hide anything here. They get 3 meals a day. They get security around the facility, around the campsite, and they get washrooms where they can shower up and stay clean. So there are some other benefits, but like you said, there's a bunch of other options probably that could have been maybe slightly more enticing than this. But yeah, it's a good desired outcome, trying to make a difference. But the way that they're doing it is certainly questionable.
Can I tell you my biggest problem with this?
Let's hear it.
Is actually it's the tents.
Yeah.
Right? In the sense of you're trying to do the right thing. You're providing the meals. You're providing the security. You're doing all this. You have good intentions. Horrible capital allocation. But you still are telling people to live in the tent in the parking lot.
That 375-foot home that Elon Musk is reportedly living in costs $50,000. Let's just buy a bunch of those.
It's crazy.
These things right here are going to get knocked over with wind, and you're going to have to buy a new one every freaking 2 months.
It's just crazy, man. It frankly, it like upsets me when I see this,
like the chalk
because the thing that that hits home is like there's so many people in our country who need help, and we have people who are acting like idiots inside of these local governments. And what they're doing is they're basically just like, oh, let's spend a bunch of money. Let's do this. Like
it's a short-term fix, yeah.
But it's like, dude, you're still telling people to go live in a tent.
Yeah.
Why don't you do this? Why don't you allow people to build housing in San Francisco so that we can actually put people in a real home rather than the inhumane treatment like this? It's crazy to me. All right, I've said my piece. What I will say, though, is the fact that we gave $200 billion, the government paid the government, and the government still doesn't know what they're doing with it is crazy.
Hey guys, bang bang. Thanks so much for watching the Best Business Show today. And don't forget to check out our partner, SoFi. They make all this possible. They're a super app that lets you save, spend, borrow, earn, and invest all from one single platform. And if you go there today and you sign up for a SoFi Invest account, you can get between $5 and $1,000 for free from SoFi. Not everyone's obviously going to get $1,000, but everyone gets something. Don't say that I never did anything for you. Go check them out at SoFi.com/pomp, download the app, and go ahead and open an account. SoFi.com/pomp, and make sure you come back and watch more of the Best Business Show. We're going to build the biggest business show in the world, and we need your help.